all the way from Caerphilly in Wales. Will you please welcome to the stage Miss Chrissy Derbyshire?
Couple of things you need to know about me before we begin. First, just to give you a very quick idea of the kind of person you're dealing with here, I recently put both of my hands in the bin in a public bathroom because I thought it was a Dyson Airblade, so that's where I am. Second, you might look at me and think I look like a kind of anime librarian or troublingly erotic CBeebies presenter, and it's more complicated than that, but you're close enough. Okay, you're close enough. Actually, in my life, I've worn many hats. I've worn many coats, I've worn many pants, and I've worn the same 3 comfortable bras on a cycle. Not on the cycle, but cyclically. That was humour. You can expect more of that. I've understood the assignment. No, of course, actually, what I mean is that in my life, I've taken on many different roles. Now, you might think, because of that clever bit of misdirection earlier, that I'm about to make a joke about bread rolls. And full disclosure, I did think about it, but I decided that was a bit lazy. That's lazy comedy. We're better than that, aren't we? We're better than that. Also, we all know narratively where this is going, right? We all know that I'm about to launch into some material about having had a varied career trajectory. And no disrespect to you as an audience, but I feel like we've already lost quite a lot of time on that due to you getting distracted. It's almost like you, not me, but you, again, not me, but you, are riddled with ADHD. I couldn't identify with that at all, of course. Chrissy, neurotypical Derbyshire, they call me when they're lying. To cut to the chase, in my life, I have done a lot of different things for money. And the fact that I've settled on my job being telling little jokes should give you an idea of how well suited I was for the employment market. Not very, it turns out, but I've done loads of different things. I worked in a sports shop, which for a person who can name 2 sports, football and robot wars, wasn't the best idea, but I did it. I worked in loads of shops. I've done loads of admin jobs. Admin, a thing that I look perfect for and am shit at. I've done other things as well. I've been a ghost tour guide. I've been a film and TV extra. I've been paid, bear with me, I've been paid to pretend to find out that I had a life-changing disease to help train medical students not to just react with rough thoughts and prayers. Someone gets paid to do that. Sometimes it's me. I've also had quite a lot of jobs online, as many of us do these days. One of my online jobs wasn't too bad. For a while, I was an online beta tester, or as we call it colloquially, a dominatrix. Yet for a little while I was a part-time online freelance dominatrix. Again, something that I look perfect for, and in this case I'm quite good at, yes, thank you. All online too, the things they can do these days. We have the technology. It was good for me as well, partly because I'm very good with words. I also have quite a good typing speed, which is not essential but desirable for the role. And also because in real life, I've usually got crisps in my hair. I am only glamorous from a significant distance, if that. So doing it all online via DMs was perfect for me. Not a difficult job either. Typically, a man would pop up, as it were. A man would pop up and he'd say something along the lines of, "Oh, mistress, what are you wearing?" And I would answer him, of course, a Little Mermaid pyjama top and fuzzy leggings. And then I'd go, ha, 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 laugh at my own little joke. I'd press backspace lots of times because I'm old. And I'd type instead, "None of your business, little man." And then he'd just send me a picture of his willy and transfer me 20 quid. For calling him the same thing I call my cat. My cat, the real man in my life, my cat, his name's Bernard. I thought I was being quite funny, quite original, quite cute, giving him a just some guy kind of name. But it turns out there's a bit of a trend these days for giving cats names that are just like a bloke you met down the pub. You know, sometimes you'll go around a friend's house and you'll see, say, the most beautiful, perfect, clear blue-eyed ragdoll cat. It's gorgeous, it's sumptuous, it's all lush fur and deep purrs. It looks like the kind of thing that someone might wear, you know, if they were awful. You find yourself kind of producing open tins of salmon that you didn't even have on your person to begin with. Your body's just producing them like biological imperative brought on by how beautiful this cat is. And it's got a little glint of evil in its eye, but you know that you'd die for it. You'd kill for it. And you say, my God, what a stunning cat. And your friend says, yeah, that's Ian. He's a dickhead. Dogs, on the other hand, dogs are treated like gods in this country. And you know, fair play from a spelling perspective, not a big leap. Also fair play, I think, I know, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? It's all right. Also fair play because dogs are lovely, aren't they? Even as a cat person, I can understand why dogs are so loved in this country. But sometimes you'll go around a friend's house and you'll see their dog. Or at least you've been reliably informed that it's a dog. If you didn't know better, you might think it was a very old, dirty, threadbare hand puppet that's been turned inside out. Or an octopus that's been dropped on a sticky rug. It looks like it's been long dead, it's been buried, it's been dug up again. It smells like that too, but unaccountably it's still moving. It's either got no eyes or too many eyes, depending on which angle you look at it at. You can't tell which part of it is which. You see its leg, you think you see its tongue lolling about, then it puts weight on it, that's its leg. It looks like if it threw up, and that's a small if it threw up, you might leave the vomit, scrape up the dog. That's what it looks like. But you, because you're British and you're polite, of course you say, oh, what a lovely dog. And your friend says, I know. This is Angel. He's a Shih Tzu pug Doberman cross. He's the most beautiful thing in my life. And at that point you can kind of get where they're coming from, because you've seen pictures of their baby. I've actually got a kid myself. Not an eldritch abomination, just a little kid, although I would say that, wouldn't I? It's going pretty well. I fed her today, so. And I love being a parent. I really love having a kid. I think it is so moving being privileged to watch this screaming potato gradually blossom into a weirdly dependent flatmate. The best thing about having a kid, I've found, is being able to share my cultural references with her. I love being able to share all the things that I grew up with my child. And so imagine my delight when she was very little, we were invited to what I would describe as a regulation wedding disco. Yeah, you know the kind. It's the kind where the DJ set hasn't changed since 1993, and that's okay. You know what you're going to get. It's a safe place, it's a happy place. You're going to get Oops Upside Your Head. You're going to get Cha-Cha Slide, Superman, Grease Mega Mix. Yes. And I didn't see much of Anne when my daughter that night, because at the age of 5 she already had more of a social life than I ever will have. And also because that night she had attached herself to my friend Julia. She followed my friend Julia around all night. And by about 11:30, midnight, Julia was understandably starting to flag. You know, she was edging towards the boundaries of the dance floor as You Can't Touch This blared on the stereo, trying to talk to another grown-up. And I got to witness this tiny, tiny child with the most sombre, earnest expression on her face go after her and say, Julia, Julia, you have to stop. It's hammer time. The thing about being a parent, though, I think something that any parents here will be able to identify with, is that when you're a parent, you spend so much of your life, so much of your time, your energy, your soul parenting, that anytime your kid's not there, it's really hard to turn it off. You do find yourself pointing out moo cows to strangers on a bus. The worst one of these that ever happened to me was my partner at the time had a friend round. So this was two guys in their late 30s, kicking back, playing cards in my living room. And let me tell you, it really does change the whole vibe of an evening. When you go up to your long-term romantic partner and his friend, who you don't know very well, lean over them and say, "Mummy, get you a drink." I had to have a threesome that night just to save face. You've been absolutely lovely. I unfortunately have been Chrissy Derbyshire. Thank you. Sorry, please ignore me. I wasn't here. You too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chrissy Derbyshire.